Yo, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to go over the upgrades for the Chaos Zero system really quick since I ended up getting it maxed out, and I very potentially could be the first person to get it maxed out. Um, just wanted to kind of dive into this and look at what's offered here and whether or not it's even really worth it in the long run. Um, Newsflash, it's not. The best upgrade that you get out of all of these is 100% going to be in like the very first level, or maybe it's the second one right here, the Divine Representative Encounter Protocol. This is probably my favorite one out of all of them. For one, because you get it just so early in the game, and secondly, because it can give you some really broken things. Um, it could be something minor to like removing a card from a character at the very start, so that way it's easier for you to kind of make your build. My favorite personally is a 20% max health increase, which can just be absolutely massive, especially on stages where you're getting hit and you don't have like 50% of your health because of the modifiers that you end up getting screwed with. Definitely my favorite one. There's also another one, the free item refresh protocol. This one's pretty banger too, just so that way you can refresh, get yourself some neutral cards. This was absolutely amazing for my Ray because my Ray is just like a draw machine that builds morale. That's all she's there for. No healing or really anything else. She does provide some damage buffs. I'll go over that a little bit though. We'll go over that later. What else is here? There's some equipment discounts, which don't feel like a whole lot. But realistically, there's never any good equipment in the shop that I would buy anyways. It's really just neutral cards because neutral cards can just be so strong if you're using them properly, especially if you get some divine epiphanies on them. There's also some other ones. Let me see here. I guess there's really not anything else much. The very last one that we're going to get is the probability of additional choices for divine interactions. So far, I've only ever seen this work for like the very first option that I was talking about, right? Because this is going to automatically give you a divine encounter right when you start every single uh, like dive or whatever the hell we're calling them, route, map, something like that. It'll just give you an additional third choice. It's definitely not worthy of being the very last upgrade in this long chain of work that we end up trying to go through. The biggest things that we get is really just the flat stats, which at the end of the day don't amount to really that much, anyways. They might end up giving more of a bonus than I realize. I just don't know how these translate to actual in-game stats. I know like 9 attack is like maybe a couple of levels on a support or a partner or your main character if you level them up. So still just doesn't feel like that much. But hey, at the end of the day, more stats are more stats. It's going to help you clear the content. Then fantastic, whatever. I just wish there was more to kind of switch up the play style going through these because these just feel extremely bland. Like look at this, 2%. Like really, that's it? A 2% chance? Like, come on now. It's just so pathetic. But it's like we're early in the game, right? I'm trying not to be too harsh. We're super early in the game. This is obviously going to be expanded upon at later time. And we're also not even at max level yet, so who knows? Maybe this will end up being different whenever we get into like a very very high data set. I can't imagine it going very much higher than very high. I feel like very high is already going to be the maximum. So I wonder how they're going to expand further onto these data sets and what we're going to be able to accomplish with them. Because at very high, we're already seeing some ridiculous numbers. Like if I go into my Magna over here, her data set's 66,000. Like this is ridiculous. 66,000, bro. You can see here I got 3 iron walls. I got 3 of my ice fragment upgrades. Actually, maybe it's just 2 of them. I guess I didn't save the third one. But yeah, I got 2 of those. Just absolutely ridiculous. And I got a mythic item on top of all of that. And so it's just cracked all the way through. So like we're already getting pretty up there. But like how much further are we going to really be able to realistically get when like they force us to have basics in our data sets and whatnot? I mean, this is 13 cards, right? I got 13 cards in here. They ended up shoving 3 basics back into this deck, and I still got a pretty cracked hand out here and a neutral card in here. I don't even think they really removed anything from this. I think they just shoved the basics back in there and called it a day. But then if I go over to my Ray, for example, like The most I can get is like 43,000, right? I think this is the only one I got. No, I got a 55,000 as well. So like we are still being able to get some pretty ridiculous data sets. It's just the only thing that can be different, I think, is if they just don't randomly shove basics back into these hands or these decks. But I don't know what the likelihood of that is happening because it feels so sporadic. I go over here and I look at my Calipe and you can see I have one basic, and that's because this is the basic that I always keep because it's a massive AOE. But then I got go away, go, and then I got 4 Voltry ejections here. I got my great sword. Like this is cracked. This is insane, right? This is absolutely ridiculous for Calipe. It's only at 42,000, but like realistically, the only thing that would make this better is if I had some more duplicates, right? Duplicates of those, or if I had some better gear here. Like it realistically isn't going to get better than this unless they allow us to have 15, 16 cards and a ridiculous amount of more duplicates. Because I don't want neutrals in my Calipe's deck. There's no neutral cards that I think Calipe benefits from, except for maybe the barrier one with exhaust and it gives you 1 AP. But even then, I really don't need it. Like Mika is an AP machine. Look at this. I got 3 sources of water, or not in this one. I think it's my other deck. Oh my god, I keep doing that. I got 3 sources of water. Boom, boom, boom. With stress release, and then a bunch of card draw, and then I even got recycling in here. Like, I'm never going to have an issue with AP for as long as I live. If this girl is in the deck, or if she's in the team, AP is never going to be an issue, no matter what I'm playing. I mean, it could be Kayron, and I could just be spamming 7s the entire day, and I'm going to be chilling. So it's just I don't see them expanding much more as we go into the higher levels after this, because I feel like we're already kind of hitting a soft cap with what we're able to do with cards, and I just don't think it's going to be able to get much better. Leave a comment down below if you disagree. I mean, how much higher can it get outside of very high? I don't have a lot of hope, so I guess we'll see unless they just actually decide to change it so we are not forced to keep basics in our hand. But yeah, so I don't even think rushing this for the maximum level difficulty is really that important because, like I said, I'm already getting exactly what I need out of level 5s. You just have to find a legendary, and then you can come in here and do your very high data sets. Only problem now, I guess, is just that you have to reload a lot because, like, obviously getting yourself on a legendary with some decent modifiers is kind of a pain in the ass. Like, this one's perfect. This is awesome. I can avoid elite spots if I need to. Fury barely even matters because they're going to be dead anyways, and health doesn't matter because I can't die when I'm with Calipe and Mika anyways. Calipe and Mika can just carry any other character through the world without them really even doing anything. It's just basically getting them a data set so that way we can carry it outside of it. But yeah, see, it's just I guess there's not much else that can really surprise me with this. So I'm hoping that down the line after this reset, maybe they'll add another 60 levels, add some more upgrades, and actually make them meaningful with how they change our playstyle. Like, I don't need flat stats. Don't give flat stats. They need to integrate things that are going to fundamentally change how we are going through and progressing through the chaos system. Because this is the end game. I've already beat the end game technically. Like, at this point, all I can do is try to grind better data sets, and there's nothing in here at all that's going to affect my data sets, other than maybe the shop one because of the discounts and 5 free refreshes. But none of this other stuff, none of this shit really matters when it comes to my actual end game progression. It just makes it easier to get through it. And frankly, since I'm using Calipe, it's already ridiculously easy to get through it, and I haven't struggled even once. Going through it with my other teams, it can be a little bit more challenging. But honestly, if you just... I have a level 6 Mika too, so she kind of trivializes a lot of things as well. So it's just like, I don't know. As you can see, I got Maylin, I got Selena. These two were actually the ones that I started with until I ended up getting lucky and pulling a Calipe. And then I loved Calipe's playstyle so much that I just started focusing on her. I think Celestial, or I guess Heaven, is a really fun playstyle that I've thoroughly been enjoying. But Maylin and Selena, definitely can't sleep on them, especially with the Ray combo, which is why I got Ray up to begin with, because all of the basic attacks that she has, following up with her, it's just a lot of freaking damage. If you don't have Selena or you don't have Ray, Veronica's also a very good replacement. She also has a card draw engine built into her kit, so she's fantastic as a sub DPS or support. You could also put neutral cards on her, just like I do with Ray, just to kind of make them exactly what you need them to be. Like for this, I got a bunch of card draw, got some AP on this, some morale. Basically, as much card draw as I can. I don't even think I have a heal in here. Yeah, I ended up taking the heal out. I kept this one because it has the card draw attached to the heal, so ideally I would have some duplicates of this. But frankly, if I get a Divine Epiphany early on, I just want like 3-4 rallies, maybe some attacks, because they usually get the plus AP with morale on it. And that's just absolutely huge, especially because this increases action count. Action count increase for Malin is so important because you're spamming such low-cost cards. You end up using Unity of Attack and Defense. You get 2 strike cards in your hand. You already got 2 strike cards. Well, you just used 5 action points in 1 turn, and that's not even considering the fact that you might have Mika in there to give you another 5 action points. So now you can use a bunch of other cards, and it's just going to make the boss interrupt you and attack a lot while you're in the middle of comboing off. So having these rally cards is just super important to increase those action counts. I think next up, what I'm probably going to end up doing is getting up my Cassius. Just because I love Cassius. He's another card draw machine, and anything with card draw in a freaking card game is going to be massively strong for like ever. Those are the kind of characters that are just always going to have value no matter what. And then I'll probably end up getting up Rin or Kayron, one of the two. I'm not entirely sure who I want to do yet because I just pulled Kayron, and I like him, but like I already got Rin up, so I don't know. We'll see. It depends on what kind of materials they're going to give us in the future because, oh my god, is it expensive. Like, look at this. What is promotion at now? Promotion freaking 500,000, bro. All I got is 500,000. What do you mean? We need some events, man. But yeah, if there's any comments, questions, concerns, you guys want to know what kind of teams I would play or anything like that, feel free to reach out, leave a comment. Also, there's a new website that has come out for like a deck builder for CZN. I think it's literally called CZN Deck Builder or something like that. I would highly recommend checking it out. So that way you can kind of theory craft with characters that you want. It'll show you the kind of epiphanies that they have. Just let you build the deck from scratch and see what you're working with, who you want to run, who you want to focus on in a team. So that way you can get those perfect data sets and take them into other forms of content, especially this hyperspace bridge over here, or the basin of hyperspace. This shit gets hard, man. Like, once you start getting over here, the shit gets hard. It doesn't look like there's any time limit or anything like that. And I only got 3 more things to do, but it gets pretty freaking rough once you get over here. Because you'll have one that's like a bunch of AoE, and then you'll have one that's like some like big, thick boys. And it can get kind of rough. So you definitely want to be paying attention to whatever these weaknesses are over here for the support buffs, because as of right now, I ended up clearing level 7 pretty easily once I ended up getting Ray as my second support over here. But I'm definitely going to have to go back and get some data sets for my Malin and my Selena, because they're just not cutting it right now, especially because they like severely lack AoE. They're fantastic in single target situations. They'll destroy, nuke anything with single target. But yeah, I definitely got to get some better data sets. I have my Kalipe over here instead of over here where she'd be stronger, because frankly Kalipe can just destroy anything regardless of weakness. So she's just like a flex slot. She could be anywhere. And then, I also have her running with Magna. So I do still have that weakness in there, coming off of Magna's counters. But, yeah. Anyways, that was all for this video. I kind of went off on a big tangent about a bunch of other things that didn't matter. The main thing was just the chaos system. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the chaos system, what you think of these upgrades, what you're looking forward to as far as that goes, and maybe some things that you would like to see them implement for the runs so these don't go stale too quickly. Because like I said, I feel like we need a little bit more innovation when it comes to these later down the road. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. See you later.